Charlotte on the second of a back-to-back, hoping to regain their swag, but it was more the same. It was more New York bricks, 109-88. The Knicks fall in the QC. Just couldn't find any offense, man. Only 9 shots for Julius. The MVP needed him to get going. Couldn't get going. RJ quickly. This was a struggle. We had a nice game from Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox arrived, man. 17 first half points for Kevin Knox, but it was just too much Hornets, man. We had Gordon Hayward out there looking like Larry Bird. 28 first half points for Hayward. Finishes with 34 on the night. And, yeah, man, as good as the Knicks defense has been all year, you got to score. And this is another game where they failed to crack 90 in 2021, this modern NBA. That's just not going to get it done. So, JL's kick us off, man. What you see from this team tonight that didn't get the job done?
Well, first of all, Reggie Bullock was out of the starting lineup, something that we all wanted to see.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And we had Austin Rivers in the starting lineup for once. And it started out terrible, CP. I'm not going to lie.
They missed their first 9 of 10 baskets. Charlotte jumps out to the 10-0 lead, bro.
Exactly. 10-0 lead. And eventually it got to a 17-point lead. And it really didn't change until quickly got in the game and hit a 3-point play. The Knox got in the game, hit 2 threes in a row. And all of a sudden we're back in the game. But it was just too much Hornets for you, like you said. Gordon Hayward went off. Took RJ to school. Second half, we had nothing. Randall had nothing. It was a heartbeat for a minute in the third quarter when we played some defense. That's what it seemed like. We was getting some easy buckets. But the Hornets pushed back, man. The Hornets pushed back. They started full court pressing, giving you zone defense. And the Knicks couldn't keep up with them on defensive end, missing open shots. Debilitated them, and then that's all she wrote, man. Hornets win.
Agreed. Ash, how'd you feel about this game tonight?
Yeah, listen, I mean, there were moments where, it looked like your defense was creating an offense. We were able to cut that score down a little bit, the difference between us and the Hornets tonight. But, I mean, look, it just shots were not falling. I mean, we had good looks. Yeah. Shots weren't falling. But then also what I didn't like was Randall had no help out there for a good portion of that game. It was like he was playing 1-on-5. It was ridiculous. And then I just think defensively we let too many holes get into our game, and you can't let that happen, especially when you're struggling. Yeah, especially when you're struggling on the other side of the ball, which is the offense. Your defense has to be even tighter so that you're not in the position where the other team is just making that gap of that score even bigger. And we just were not good. We were not tight on either side of the ball, especially when one side was worse than the other tonight. So I'm not really sure what Tibbs's practices look like, but we really got to figure it out and do something different because it's just not working, whatever he's doing.
Need some reinforcements big time. That's for sure. But, as JL said, there was no Reggie Bullock tonight. He's out with a sore hip, so the walking wounded continues for the Knicks. And his defense was missing tonight. I thought, Gordon Hayward really got to RJ. He was abusing him backdoor. They had no answer for Gordon Hayward between RJ and Kev, so that was a big issue. As you said, JL's, they had looks. They had looks. Rivers missed a ton of open looks. RJ, we know, is building the brick house. They built a mansion out there in Charlotte. Quickly 1 for 10 tonight. I didn't seem like even though he got us going in the second quarter, playmaking wise, it quickly just doesn't seem like he has much confidence in his shots right now. And he was 1 for 10 from the field. Again, Julius only 9 attempts. He's our guy. He's our pacemaker. So we go as far as he goes right now, and only 9 attempts for Julius. That's just not going to get it done, especially with RJ struggling. Once again, Peyton got us off to a lousy start, bro. Peyton got us off to a lousy start, and once he bricked a floater badly that didn't even hit the rim, Tibbs takes him out, brings in quickly, brings in Knox. As I said, Knox gets us off 17 points in the first half. Noel also, unsung, had a good second quarter to really keep this thing at bay. I think without Knox and Noel, this thing could have been over very early. And we even took a 1-point lead at one point in that second quarter. So, but again, it was more the same in the third, man. Just could not get anything going. And whenever Charlotte would, make 2-3 in a row and the Knicks would try to stop the momentum, Charlotte would come back, make 2-3 in a row. The referees were all over the place and very inconsistent. And just an ugly night, man. Ugly night all the way around, bro.
And I think also Noel did a good job on Gordon Hayward for a while there. He kind of forced him to miss shots, forced him to pass that ball out, forced him to not be able to take the shots that he wanted to take. So I think defensively, he did a good job kind of limiting him in spurts. But again, it just was not enough. And going back to the defense, it's something that I know most basketball fans know, especially if you played the game, when your offense is struggling, your defense has to be even tighter. And our offense was atrocious. I mean, yes, I wasn't the biggest fan of tonight's officiating. I thought it was astronomically terrible. I'm not really quite sure what's going on with the officiating.
Especially in the first half, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. It was absolutely terrible. But you got to protect both sides of the ball. And when you can't, you got to rely on one side of the ball more than the other. And tonight, the defense could have saved this game. And we just didn't get it done.
Yeah. 14 turnovers again, JL. So you got to take care of the ball. This is the number one team in fast break points. So you got to take care of the ball in them, or else they're going to get out and run and put some points in the hole, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And to expound on her point too on the defense and the good job Noel is, I feel like Tom Thibodeau actually decided to double Gordon Hayward once he started getting into us a little bit, and maybe he should have did it a little bit early. I feel like that helped turn the time a little bit and help us get into a little bit of that fast break. But also, the Hornets they started pressing us. You know?
They did.
They started pressing us. Usually we get flustered when we get into the zone, and they did that to us tonight too. But they started pressing us tonight, and we still couldn't defeat that. So there was like we couldn't figure out anything on offense, and from the press to the man-to-man to the zone, there were just no answers for anything. The only answer was causing a turnover, getting some fast breaks, and Kevin Knox for a shorter.
And when I saw that one steal to a fast break, Jales, it looked like a shooting star, because you just don't see that from the Knicks at all. And that's the best way they're gonna mount any offense, man. They gotta force turnovers and they gotta get out and run.
Yeah.
And they're just not doing any of that particularly well. They're not shooting well, and so all of that combines into a pretty bad effort. Again, another night you don't even crack 90 points. So it's a tough stretch, and as you said, Jales, with the pressure, I think that took quickly out of his game as well. He had trouble bringing the ball up. That seems to be his Achilles heel. Whenever that pressure comes, they put that on. His ball handling is a little bit suspect out there, so that was tricky. And overall, it's just lackluster, man. Lackluster. We need a lot more from our point guards to get this thing done, and a lot more shooting.
Yeah. And also, I mean, speaking of the shooting, I don't have a problem taking these crazy 3-point shots when you're down by a lot. You got to take the shot, no risk, no reward. But I have an issue with it being early in the game and you chuck up these 30-footers and you can't how are you defending the shot? Like, what is the logical explanation behind taking these ridiculous shots? I know you have wide open looks, but I mean, some of the guys taking these shots, they're not 3-point shooters. You guys don't have the accuracy to take them. RJ Barrett, I'm talking about you.
That's RJ Barrett. And while he said it on the cast too, he's got to stop shooting those threes, man.
Stop taking these ridiculous shots. You are not Steph Curry. What are you doing? It's a waste of a possession, and it drives me crazy. And then on top of that, he's chucking up these shots. There's nobody to get those long rebounds. So it's a waste of a possession. I need him to chill out. Like, he's got to chill, or Tibbs got to figure out what to do about it, because this is really ridiculous. It's like the third time that I've seen him just take up these ridiculous shots in a game. He's got to cut it out. Enough.
And it's leading to leakouts. It's leading to those leakouts. And again, their transition defense has to tighten up. Has to tighten up, JLs. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's hurting the team, man. Like Julius Randle, RJ Barrett taking the most shots of the team, and when you're shooting that much and hitting at that low percentage, you're just putting too much pressure on our defense to, overcorrect their bad shot taking. So he's gonna have to, dig deep, find his mojo, figure out how to take better shots and make them, because he's really kind of hurting the team. And I'll keep saying this, I'm not out on RJ Barrett. I just
he's just got. I'm not out on him, man. All the people talking trade him, bench him, and that's just ridiculous, man. Because I still see him making positive plays for this team, especially as a playmaker, as a rebounder. I still think RJ can get the job done. Now defensively, again, Hayward burned us. He didn't play Hayward too well tonight, but I think they still need to try to get him involved more as a playmaker and take the ball out of Peyton's hands, man. Enough for the Peyton stuff. Take the ball out of Peyton's hands and let RJ play make a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, also though, like we go back to this conversation that I feel like we have every single time we lose,
Yeah.
and every single time there's footage of RJ taking these ridiculous shots. Get a mid game. Like it doesn't have to be,
Yeah.
layups, 3-pointers, and nothing in between. Develop your mid range game. There's nothing wrong with not being a strong 3-point shooter straight off the bat. I can name like 5 players off the top of my head right now who are not strong 3-point shooters when they first came into the league and had to develop that over time. There's no shame in that. But all you're doing by continuously just chucking up these shots, even though you are open, yes, I know some of them fall. And when you have an open shot, when you have an open look, you're supposed to take it. But I just feel like when you take a shot and 9 times out of 10 it's not going to fall, I just feel like it's a waste of a possession. Kick the ball out, go to your second, your third option. You don't always have to take the shot just because the ball is in your hand.
Yeah.
Play smart, don't play harder.
I agree. And there's people in the chat saying, well, he's not a good playmaker. He doesn't have good handle. Yeah, maybe if he's bringing the ball up from the top of the key, but I think there's still areas, maybe in the post JLs, having him face up and drive and kick. There's still opportunities. It was there tonight. He made those passes. He still came out of it with 4 dimes. He can still make those plays as a threat off of the drive. I know his handle is not that strong, but I still think he can make those plays. Still think those opportunities are there for him.
You know what, CP is he can, but I feel like tonight when he was able to make those plays, that's when the Hornets were kind of pressing. There was a lineup up there when they had I think it was like Kevin Knox, Quickly, and Austin Rivers. And when you have a lineup of those guys, their jump shots respect a little bit more. So he was able to kind of sneak into the defense and give some nice little dump off passes when that happened. I'm not sure if you can do that when you have their regular lineup of Elfrid Payton, Mitchell Robinson, and the cloggers, the guys who clog the paint. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that on a consistent basis. Like the balance on the team is just still off depending on who's on the court from night to night.
Yeah, it throws the balance off completely, man. Bright sides, I think Kev had an overall good game. Second half, he was quiet.
Yeah.
But first half, he came alive. I was looking for him to maybe replace Bullock in that starting lineup if they're going to continue to play bigger at the 3. Mitch, another solid game for Mitch. 12 points, 11 boards for Mitch tonight. 2 blocks. Again, no pick and rolls, not much Gotham lobs. I think he had a couple, maybe 1 or 2 from RJ, but still unable to really get Mitch off with the alleys and being a threat there. So, but overall, I think he did what he could do out there. 12 and 11 tonight for Mitch.
Yeah, and I like this defense on Washington, man, because he kind of he was abusing Randall a little bit tonight, man. Washington on
Washington had Julius flustered out there, man. I think his speed got him confused out there, and Julius just kind of looked out of sorts, man. He was a bad Julius tonight. That wasn't on his game at all.
Yeah, he's definitely bad Julius tonight. He wasn't able to make the passes like he used to. He's little weird turnovers, jumping in the air, trying to make the pass, causing turnovers that way. But yeah, not the Julius typical night. But I did like what I saw from Mitch Robinson on the defensive end. I felt like when he was on the game, he's been impactful on giving the rebounds. I think it was a double-double tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The more maturation of Mitch Robinson is kind of going under the radar under all this losing right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
And I definitely wasn't pleased with Austin Rivers. I don't know if coming, off the bench is more of a strong suit for him, and he doesn't really flourish well being a starter. But I was hoping to get a lot more.
Yeah, we wanted him to start. He got to start.
I wanted him to start. I thought that he was going to bring that aggression, that fire that you need to kind of get the ball rolling, especially when you're coming off 2 losses. And you need that fire. You need that guy who's going to be out there, the vocal player. And he just was not that guy for me tonight. So I don't know if it was just an off night for him, or if coming off the bench is just where he is better suited when it comes to the teams that he plays for, at least with this team. I'm not sure. I would have to see him start again to really make that assessment. But it was definitely not what I expected to see from him tonight.
I think it was a mixed bag. I saw him. He missed a ton of open looks.
Yeah,
he missed a ton of open looks. Make or miss league. The other night at the Garden, he's making all those. So sometimes it just goes like that. Yeah. And then I thought with the refs and whatnot, I think that threw him off his game. He had a lot of boneheaded turnovers, 3 turnovers on the night, but a lot of them were just costly for us. That led into Hornets points. So mixed bag from Rivers tonight. But Tibbs went with him as long as he could because we just needed that firepower out there. But we just couldn't get a bucket. We just couldn't get a bucket. So, like I said, man, Burks, Obi, come back soon. We need reinforcements badly, man. Badly.
For real, man. I can't wait.
Yeah.
How far are they? How far?
I don't know. I think it doesn't even seem close for either one, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I mean, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, but I feel like 2 weeks was 2 weeks ago. So I'm not quite sure like where the status is in terms of his return. I don't know if there's been a delay. I don't know if he's not progressing the way that the team would like him to for him to make his return. I'm not quite sure, but we're definitely missing having some sort of creativity in our rotations. We're definitely missing what Obi can bring. And not only that, but we're missing time to develop him to see what he can be as a player, and that's going to help us also make some decisions down the line as it gets closer to the trade deadline. So the longer he sits, the harder those decisions are to make, and ultimately it can negatively affect our ability to make proper trades when the time comes. So I need him to return ASAP. Please.
Agreed, because we had 3 L's in a row, Ashley. They're talking about the Ashley curse going on in the chat.
I know.
Right it went from Jay Ellis to Ashley. So.
I love when the heat is off me.
Yeah.
Listen. How much do I got to pay y'all to make sure the curse goes back to Jay Ellis? Let's rename it.
We gotta get it
done.
Can't
be bought, Ashley.
Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's go to the phones. Will from LI. Will, how you feeling tonight, bro? Yep. Will going once.
Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. How you doing, bro?
I was reading.
He goes, I was reading.
I haven't been on in a minute. Hey, how you guys doing? First off, Ashley, welcome to the program. Wish it was underneath better circumstances, but what you gotta do. Wanted to start off by saying it was my birthday, and I just wanted the Knicks to win today. Didn't want a 3-game losing streak, but this is where we are. Listen, man, I'm gonna start off the hot takes fast. We gotta trade Julius Randle. Okay, he has to go.
Here we go.
I'm 100% with Ari. Okay, unless you think that Julius Randle is a building block for this team for the next 5 years, unless you're willing to give him a Gordon Hayward contract, 20 whatever million a year, unless you're not willing to do that, then he's just an asset, and you got to get rid of him because this is what this team is. Even when we were winning, we were still the bottom half of the league in offense. It was just that we got teams slipping. We got Indiana. Whatever it was fluke. Okay, right now this team is not. We need talent, like Jay from Florida says. We need talent. So to get talent, we need to get into the draft, or we need to get assets. Either way, Julius Randle got to go. Okay, he's playing great. He's playing like an all-star. I love it. But the fact of the matter is, Julius Randle, the best player on your team, does not equal win. Yeah. Okay, so for me, it's trade Julius and trade deadline, and that's just how I feel. I'm gonna let you get back to it. Again, Ashley, welcome to the program. Love what you guys are doing. I'll talk to you guys later.
Listen, I hear that, man. They will explore that at the deadline. Any GM would, but he's not the reason why they're losing.
If anything, he's keeping us in these games.
If anything, he's keeping it somewhat decent to watch. Because without Julius, this is abysmal.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I think I speak for JLS too when I say this, I don't think it's as cut as dry as a lot of people are making it. Yes, we have Obi. Yes, we drafted Obi to be the future. But here's the thing. We don't know what Obi is going to look like. And his progress and his return to the team seems to be taking longer than anticipated. So with that, if you want to win some games, obviously the goal is not to win out, is not to go to the championship, it's not to go to the finals. Obviously, we're not going to go far in the playoffs if you even make the playoffs. But if you want to compete at some level, trading Julius Randle may not be the thing that you need to do because right now he's the only person keeping us in the majority of these games.
Yeah.
If you want to compete at all, you cannot remove him from this team. Now, if you have no problem losing out and not being a contender, not competing at all, not being a team that looks like it's building in the right direction, then trade him. But it really depends on what your goal is, because like I said, he's keeping us in a lot of these games.
Yeah, I concur. And you're talking about we're still the bottom of the league, even with Julius Randle. But if you're looking at the numbers, it's not Julius Randle's fault. Like, he's shooting.
I'm not blaming Julius
from the field. He's getting people open shots. He's not the reason why we're not top offense in the league. The reason why is those open shots, as you saw all night, haven't been hit.
Falling.
Exactly.
Not falling.
If you have the right pieces, if you have shooters around who can hit those shots when he creates them, all of a sudden that number is going to jump up, and there's not going to be as much pressure on our defense, and our record will look completely different. So I disagree with you, Will. You're my guy, but nah.
Yeah. Listen, I think everything is going to play out okay. The Julius thing is going to play itself out. You know, if they get a good deal for him at the deadline, I think they will pull it. If they don't, then I think there is a legit possibility that they do pick up that option, JLs.
Yeah.
Either way, I'd like to see him, competing with this team. I don't want to see them getting washed by 20, 30 points every night, because that's what it's going to be when you do trade him. I still think there's a possibility. Yeah, I'd like to be in the lottery like other people. Some people want to go playoffs, but you could still do that with Julius here playing competitive basketball.
Yeah. And not only that, and I mean, obviously you want to get a good draft pick. Obviously you want to build a better team. But also on the other side of the coin, you're running the risk of developing this culture of losing with a culture that you're trying to build. Because if you remove one of the people who's responsible for a lot of the reasons that you're in the games that you're in, a lot of the reason that you're able to win or get close to winning or even compete, and you remove that from the equation, then you just have a bunch of guys who get too comfortable with the idea of losing. And that's an even harder cycle to break, an even harder pattern to break than just being up and down constantly. Because at least when you're up and down, you go through moments where you're winning, so you know what that feels like. You go through moments where you're losing, you know what that feels like, but you know what it's like to compete. You know what it's like to be in the games. Remove the winning aspect, and you just have a team of losers who all they know how to do is lose. And that's what you don't want to build.
Julius has been the most consistent piece of his team. Your guards have been terrible. Let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? And this is not me saying trade RJ and all that knee jerk. He's been struggling. That's just reality, right? We're living in reality. He has been struggling. I'd like to see him work through it. However they need to do it, whether need to run better plays for him, turn him more into playmaker, or stagger his minutes, as we said last night, JLs.
Yeah.
But this game is not about, trading Julius.
No.
It's about getting better play from all of your guards.
Exactly. Everybody else, man. And maybe even, can we run some plays from Knox now?
Can we get Kev involved?
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Can we bring Kev to the dance?
I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Hey, I told you yesterday, my guy Kev is ready, man. He's ready. Get him involved. My guy Kev was lighting torching the Nets in the first half, man.
Exactly. I don't know how he is shooting off the movement. He's been doing the set shot right now, but I'm liking the way that he's hitting those open threes in the corner. Right?
That's his shot. Kev is patterning that shot. Gets a little iffy when he puts the ball on the floor, but he'll work on it. But my guy Kev is here, man. Let's go. Let's do it. All right, next call up, D from New York. D, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, guys? Yo, you've made some great points tonight. I don't know what that dude was talking about. Well, I'll say this. I'm open to the idea of trading Randle. My question is what do you plan on getting for him?
That's the thing.
He's your best player on the team right now. Without him, the offense is stagnant. So there's no reason really to trade him. And he's what, 26? So you could build around him. He showed you that he can do. That he's a willing passer, he could score. So, but I like what you were saying about Knox. I think I would like to see quickly, even though his shots wasn't falling. I would like to see Knox and quickly in the starting lineup, and then maybe split RJ and Peyton's minutes and see how that works. And the reason why I say that is Peyton is a phony, son. He is a straight up phony. What he's doing is like when he was in the first quarter, he was doing his thing, acting like he was facilitating. And then after that, they take him out. They put Quickly in, And like I said, although his shots wasn't falling, for some reason, all of a sudden, we start scoring now, right? It looks like it's easier for Julius to move around.
Yeah.
Knox starts hitting some shots. And then after that, they take him out and they put, Peyton back in again. And now all of a sudden, he's like, let me get mine. He's like, oh, I gotta go to the hoop or whatever and start scoring and stuff. So he's a phony. So I personally feel like you put Quickly in, you put Knox in, and then after that you split those minutes. You be like, RJ, you gonna still start, but I don't know, mentally, like you kind of gotta get things together right now, and then let them just split those minutes. That's just me. But as far as Randall, you gotta extend that contract. I'm not saying keep him. Well, who are you planning on getting for Randall? If it's not 2 first picks, or a first rounder, I don't understand it. So thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate it, D. Appreciate it. I don't see that 2 first round pick unless you get like a team that's desperate. Even see that, man. I don't even see that. They're not gonna get a rebuilding team that has some draft capital that might be appealing.
By that Randall question.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Randall caused a glitch in the matrix. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to mute D. Hang on.
Talking about trade Randall, you see what happened?
Yeah, I was trying to mute D. I was getting crazy feedback.
Red pill, blue pill.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Oh, testing 1, 2, 3. Hang tight. I'm getting You. Yeah, yo, my fault. I'm getting some feedback here. Hang on 1 second. Salute to everybody in the chat. It's a little technical difficulties going on. Let me get my peoples back up in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man.
Yeah, I think the stream skipped too.
Screen skipped. The stream is playing like the Knicks right now, man. What's going on?
It was all good just a week ago.
Yeah. Stream was bugging. Okay, so D was saying, what are we gonna get for Randall? I don't see the 2 first round picks happening. I don't see a lottery team that has draft capital that you'd be interested in, giving up 2 firsts. Does a playoff team give that up if they're that desperate? They need low pull. Maybe 1 JLs, but I don't think you're securing 2. I don't think you're gonna get a haul for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it right now.
If it's 2 firsts, I'm not sure how high they'll be.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how strong the offer would be for them. But again, they got to see how it plays out, man. They got to see how it plays out for them.
I'm just reading this chat.
Yeah, what do you say?
I just can't. The Ashley curse disrupted the whole stream.
Yeah.
Ever since I straightened my hair, the Knicks have been losing. Cowboy fans, the few Cowboy fans that are in here was like, ever since she covered up the star, you've been losing. Now you guys should want her to take it back out.
It's sick right now, man.
It's just so many different theories on how I'm involved in the Knicks 0-3 losses so far.
That's
Knicks absolutely fans. Ridiculous.
That's Knicks fans for you ass. They grasp at everything. They want RJ out of here, the Ashley curse, trade Randall, trade this guy. Golly, man. You can't win.
Think your guys are onto something, though.
Yeah.
Listen, I can bring the star out right now.
Nah. We don't need it. We don't need it, man. It's an eyesore. All right, let's get back to the phone, see what's going on here. I had some technical difficulties. Benji, what's going on, Benji? You up next, bro.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Ashley, welcome. I was not even. It was hard for me to even muster up the energy to call tonight, just because I'm just so down after these 3 losses. But just want to make some points. I'm a huge Austin Rivers fan, but I feel like less is probably more with him. Like, he's probably better suited for the bench role. Like, I kind of, just to use an analogy, I feel like Method Man was great when he did feature, when he was a feature, when he did a guest guest verse on the track, but whenever he had a full album, like I wasn't feeling it. So I feel like Austin Rivers is kind of like that. Like he needs to know his role, and he needs to come out hungry, and then he's better. So I don't know what your guys' thoughts are about him starting versus coming off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it was one game. Again, wasn't great. Ideally, is he more suitable off the bench? I think so. This is just until Burks comes back for me. Just trying to, find some sort of spark in the lineup until Burks gets back. But ideally, you want to see, Rivers just doing what he does best, and that's just score off the bench. But right now, we're so thin. Tibbs is just grasping at straws. I thought Kev was going to get the start at the 3 JLs, but not too surprised that he went with Rivers and more of a 3-guard lineup just to get some more ball movement and potential playmaking in the lineup.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the benefit. I thought there might be more playmaking from that lineup, but it wasn't really that. Also, it's still one game, so you don't know how that's going to look with a couple of more reps. It could work out in the long run. It's still kind of early, so it's too early to tell. But the 0-10 start, not a good sign off the bat.
Yeah, not at all, man. Damn, Benji came from Method Man too, man. I thought the first 2 joints was cracked. To Cal T2. To Cal, that's Hempstead. Come on, man. That's Long Island, Jay. Benji, come on, bro. Oh man. What's going on with my connection right now?
CP still there?
Yeah, my connection is wilding out right now. My connection is playing like the Knicks on offense right now. But yeah, man, Benji was spamming Method Man. Come on, bro. I thought he had 2 good solo joints, man.
Yeah, the METH? Come on, man. Come on, man. Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. CP, Ashley Mawson here. My guy JL's from Nick of Time showing here as well. And we did crack over 1,000, so the casuals are in here a little bit. The diehards are in here a little bit, so salute to everybody. I think they said the rhyme animal Chuck D's in the building, so if you guys are Public Enemy fans, throw a hashtag PE in the chat so we could salute my guy Chuck D, always supporting win or lose. Definitely appreciate it. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new. We'll shout you guys out. And, back to the phones, man. Let's go to Tehran from Brooklyn. Tehran, what's going on? BK, man.
Hey, what's going on? I want to say this is my first time calling. I like what y'all doing. Keep up the good work for KnicksFanTV. I just want to talk about Elfrid Payton, man. This dude is the turmoil of the New York Knicks, man. This dude need to just go in a cave, man. Go somewhere, man, and just relax. He need a vacation, man. Like we need a point guard over here, man. It's like this dude is just for the life of me, man. I just don't understand his IQ of the game, man. He's not getting people involved. He can't break down the defense for nothing. And then it seemed like the coaching staff, you know what I'm saying, is I don't know if Tibbs is not drilling NBA into this dude head, man. Like I'm really not understanding this dude Elfrid Payton.
Yeah.
No need to just go, man. He need to just get off this team. He's not crashing the boards. He's not doing whatsoever.
No, I thought Noel, and appreciate the call, man. I can't put this on Noel, JS. I thought Noel played. He bounced back tonight. I can't put it on Noel. Yeah. Noel definitely bounced back tonight. Payton is who he is. Clyde even said it. And Clyde is saying it. He's through. You know what I mean? Clyde is pulling no punches this season. What do you say about Payton? He was like, he's been in the league 7 years and he still can't shoot.
Yep. I love the man.
Yeah. So, Payton is who he is, man. To me, I'd rather see Quickly out there struggling, out there, forcing the issue. And, it was just today. And he's just not really helping his team that much. And I'm losing y'all again.
He's involved. I don't even know if anybody heard me because everything's glitchy.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead now. I can't hear you now. Go ahead, bro.
But yeah, I'd rather go Quickly. I'd rather see Quickly go 1 for 30 than watch Peyton even shoot 50% from the field, man, because it's just like quickly just gets everybody involved. I liked how he was splitting the defense today.
Yeah, he had a nice one where he found Noel in that dunker spot. He kind of split the zone. He pump faked on the zone, attacked that gap, and found Noel. So that was pretty decent.
Yeah, he's already feels more like a real point guard, even though he wasn't really playing that well today. So I'm with it, man. I'd rather struggle with Quick any day of the week, man. I start him. I don't care. I'll go through growing pains. I don't really care.
Yeah, definitely agree, man. 1 for 10. I just want to see that rocket. You know what I mean? He's supposed to have that rocket, man. It just hasn't been unleashed. So hopefully we can get quickly going. It seems confidence though in his jumper for me, JL. It just seems like he's just not confident in his shot. You know what I mean?
I feel you. And some of the things that when he missed, it looked like it was online. So I feel like it's going to drop eventually if he just keeps getting the minutes and keep getting those looks. Peyton's shot when it goes in, I'm just like, woo. We got it this time. I don't know about next time though, but this time,
facts.
Quickly, I just feel like even though he's missing, eventually I just see him just running off 2, 3, 4 in a row, and it gets hot, and it will carry on to another game. I can just see that having a longer lasting effect on his team.
Yeah, 1 for 10, 0 for 6 overall from downtown. So. We'll see if Quickly has a bounce back there. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let's go to who I want to hear from. Let's go to Dan from Long Island. Dan, how you feeling, bro?
Hey, what's good? Hey, hello to Jay Ellis, CP, and Ash. Welcome to the show. Ash, my son saw your Instagram story tonight from some party from last year. He says he wants you to throw CP's after parties after the Knicks games once the pandemic's over, right? So
it might be like 4 or 5 years away, man. But yeah, that'd be nice.
Whatever. I don't know. He was all excited about it. I didn't see it. He was telling me about it. Listen, guys, I think this has just been an effort to spin out all the bandwagoners. We just dropped 3 games, so all these new jacks who were jumping on board could jump off the train again.
That's
we're gonna be all right. But no, listen, Clyde said something tonight, and I know that Brini was trying to take him off of it by bringing up Dirk Nowitzki, but he raised a good point.
Yeah,
he started about LaMelo, but he was really talking about RJ, right?
Yeah,
you got to be able to hit a jump shot in the NBA. Even when you're wide open, you got to hit it. And remember this summer, RJ paid for some professional coach, and they would talk to some nonsense about, his elbow was out and all this nonsense. He deserves a refund for that.
Yo, I did ask. Just said that on my last KOT show. I was like, CashApp, Drew Howland CashApp him his money back, man.
Yeah, Drew Hamlin. He yeah. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, JL, then you were right, man. Because I gotta be honest with you, man. This is just it's atrocious. And the other thing is with Quickly, and Clyde and Brini brought this up too. Once Quickly comes into the game, these other teams are trapping him, pressing him, getting the ball out of his hands. He gets all shaky. So he talked about he was a point guard in high school. You were a point guard in high school. You weren't a point guard at Kentucky, and you're not a point guard in the league. So I just think. Listen, I'm excited about the team. We a little minor setback here. We're going to be okay. But, some growing pains, but that's all.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen, I just want you guys to know that that the real Knicks fans are still here with you guys, still watching. And big respect to everybody who's with us, win and lose. You know what I'm saying? Because
all
the
72
can stay off the team.
All 72, J. Ellis. This is not for the faint of heart. That all 72, we talked about that a couple games ago, JL. So there's a bunch of all 72s in the chat, man.
I don't see them now.
I don't see them anymore.
Where'd they go?
Where'd they go? I don't know, man. I
light.
don't know. This is not for the faint of heart. This is for the diehards. Win or lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, Clyde, they were talking about LaMelo and him getting his shooting form around. And, in terms of RJ just not knocking down those open shots, and hopefully that turns around. But what you guys think about LaMelo tonight? He came out of the triple-double game, came into this one. He's smooth. That boy's smooth, man. Had 14 quiet rebounds. Had a couple nice step backs. And LaMelo looks like the real deal, bro.
Yeah, man, he's a baller, man. He's a baller.
Yeah.
He's not quite a scorer, but he's a guy who sets his team up and he takes the shots that he's supposed to take. I like him. Nice little all-around game. I like him. If he was with the Knicks, though, it still might be a little bit of a struggle just because of that jump shot.
Yeah.
It might not look as nice here as it's looking over there, but over there it's looking all right.
Yeah, I mean, he has a very unconventional shot, kind of like Lonzo did when he first got into the league. Also, if you're familiar with LaMelo when he was playing over in Australia, kind of taking these ridiculous shots and just having the lack of a jump shot is kind of what he was known for when he was out there. So to see that he's kind of slowed that down, relaxed that a little bit now that he's playing in the professional league here in the States is definitely a good sign because he was checking up some wild shots when he was in Australia. Like, I don't know if it was the fact that everything goes in the opposite direction down there. I don't know what happened, but he was looking wild out there for a minute. So, I mean, I was definitely a fan of Anthony Edwards going number one. I just felt like he was more overall, all around, more NBA ready. But I think LaMelo obviously is going to be a star. It's not going to happen this season, I don't think. I think towards the end of the season, you'll start to see glimmers of that. Next season, he's going to be a problem. I definitely think he needs a whole season to develop, and next season, you're going to see that come into fruition.
That's a fact. Ari, what's going on, man? How you feeling, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? I'm feeling all right. I wasn't going to call in, but Will from LA got me hyped because I love that call. But the three things that stick out to me is with Tibbs, you know, he's playing Randall and RJ 38 minutes, and they're getting blown out by 20 in back-to-back games. Like, what's he doing? Like that's like, I'm all for like playing your best players a lot of minutes, especially early in the season. But when you're down by 20 on a back-to-back, I think it's like ridiculous. Like he needs to fix that. And the other thing that you know, I think Tibbs needs to fix. And I think Tibbs has been great all season. I still think he's been a great coach, but I just do not understand playing those guys those kind of minutes when you're down by 20 on a back-to-back. But besides that, you know, he always talks about keeping people accountable, you know, eating what you kill. You know, I think he really legitimately has to look at, like, maybe not benching RJ Barrett, but not giving him this 36 minutes a game. He's got to try to, you know, cut his minutes down or, you know, bench him for a half or something. I don't know. But, you know, he can't be talking all this, you know, we're going to hold people accountable and stuff. Meanwhile, you know, RJ's shooting us out of games. And I'm not down on RJ long term, but for now, I mean, if you're trying to win games and Tibbs says he's trying to win games, then he needs to cut down RJ's minutes. So that's the Tibbs thing. The second thing I wanted to say is that, you know, I think RJ, when he tweaked his shot, I think it kind of screwed him, man. I'm not a proponent of tweaking your shot when you're 20, 19 years old. I just don't think it makes sense. I tried to tweak my jump shot when I was in high school.
Yo, get out of here,
Obviously,
man.
I'm not a professional athlete.
I'm about to bang
but it's just not. Listen, you can laugh, but I'm just saying it's not easy to tweak your jump shot after you build bad habits. You know what I mean? I just don't, and especially it's going to take time if he's actually going to stick with it, that he's going to hit those shots. But I don't know. That's just me. And the last thing about Randall, real quick. Listen, man. This is a rebuild, and this is what rebuilding teams do. They add assets. We're not going to win with Randall on the team. We're not going to compete for a championship. Sam Presti traded Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Chris Paul after he had a great year. They made the playoffs, and they almost took out Houston, and he traded Chris Paul when he was trying to build a winning culture because he knows you need to build assets in order to win in this league because you need to get that superstar. All right? So I don't care if the Knicks are 8-3, 4-4, 2-5. You need to trade your players, and you need to get your assets, and you need to rebuild, and that's just the end of it. All right, and that's what I gotta say.
Peace.
So that's it.
All right, man. All right, Ari. Ari talking about how he tweaked his jump shot in high school jails.
I know.
Hey, we got the footage of Ari shooting at Clyde's Wine and Dine after a couple gin and tonics, man. It wasn't pretty, bro.
Oh, yeah?
We still got that. It's still in the archives of KnicksFanTV. If you want to see what Ari's jumper looks like, it ain't great. I'm telling you that right now. Go ahead.
Listen, I agree with what he said about RJ, and I think I alluded to this last show, is those superstar minutes are earned. They're not given. And I think, you know, when RJ first got into the league, you know, he's coming out of one of the best programs in the country, kind of, you know, spoon-fed him, silver platter guy. But you got to earn those superstar minutes. They're just not something that you can get just because you come from a certain pedigree. You come from a certain program. And right now, he's not earning them.
But who
right
are
now,
you giving those minutes? So you're gonna give it a Theo Pinson?
Listen, that's
we
the
got
other
bench.
No, we got shooters here. We got people who can make a bucket.
Who?
But
Who?
that exactly.
He's in a walking boot. Alec Burks is hurt.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers is still here, CP.
Rivers was on the court. He started tonight, J. Ellis.
Rivers is still here. I mean, listen, especially when, tonight might be a little bit different because we're short-handed, but last night and a few games ago, when my man is going 0 for 22 from 3,
yeah,
it's like, dog, I get it.
Second best option. Where else are you going? You gonna take Harper off the bench?
CP, I'm not saying play him 5 minutes a game. I'm saying take him down from 38 to like 28.
No, the thing is,
30.
The thing is, it's not an issue of obviously limiting his minutes would be the thing you would do if you had somebody to replace him with. Now you can say put Knox in, you can say a bunch of other people, but the thing is how sustainable is that? Like, how often can you actually do that? That's the issue. We don't necessarily have enough shooters. And yes, RJ is not shooting great, but he is our second option. You know what I mean? So it kind of leaves you at a standstill. What you want to do for the development of the team and the development of RJ as a player, let's be honest, if you can limit his minutes, it takes the pressure off of him, maybe gives him time to really develop, slowly get back into things. But on the other side of that, who are you going to replace him with? Like, what's the alternative?
That's what is the alternative? I hear what Ari's saying, right? Even last night in garbage time, I'm wondering why he's even out there trying to close the game when they have a back-to-back. Like, I just didn't see the point in that. And then the second thing is, how does that impact the confidence, right? Is too much minutes and struggling hurting the confidence? You put him on the bench, is that going to hurt his confidence? I think it's a tough balance. I think it's a tough balance when you're trying to manage the confidence and the ego of your young draft pick who himself is in his head trying to figure out how to get things right. It's tough.
Absolutely.
RJ's a gamer, man. This guy, we talked about how this guy has such a tough mind. He's a greedy kid. He's come from this, come from that. We worry about cutting his minutes down from 38 to 33. He's going to cut his confidence. Like, I don't get it, man. Like, we can cut it in 5 minutes. We can.
You said cutting it from 38 to like 25 or something like that.
Cut it. I didn't say 25. I said 28.
Okay. So the thing is
28, 30.
EP is right, though. You run the risk of what does that do to his confidence? You know, you look at it happens all the time in sports. You look at football, for example. What does it do? Look at Tua with the Miami Dolphins. What happens every time he has a bad game? They bench him.
Yeah,
and they bring in Fitzpatrick. So what does that do to a quarterback or a young player in general, bringing it back to basketball? What does that do to their confidence? It makes them walk on eggshells. It makes them think that every time they make a mistake, they're either going to be benched or their limits are going to be cut. So yes, that may not happen with RJ, but you run the risk that it is a possibility. But there comes a time where you have to stop coddling somebody who I think has been coddled most of his basketball playing career and kind of give him the harsh reality. Like, you want to be a superstar, you want to be the face of this franchise, you have to earn these minutes. They're not going to be given to you. And right now, you're not earning them. When you do, you'll get them back. So it depends on how kids want to handle it.
I like that part of what you said. Like that part. Like, earn your minutes.
He just has to play better, man. He just has to play better. He just got to play better.
Man, he's 19. Sitting down five to 10 extra minutes a game ain't going to hurt you. You're leading the league in minutes. You're leading the league in minutes.
Yeah, that is a little.
And you're complaining about
it. It's a little OD, but I don't know, man. I don't know what this guy tips. He feels like, they asked him again, and he gave the same answer he gave in the offseason, how he manages minutes. He says, it kind of evens out over time. There's ways to pace guys, whether it's not practicing or, throttling down the minutes as the season progresses. Tibbs feels like he has the answers. Let's see how it impacts RJ over the course of the season. We're only at game 11. Go ahead.
If my man is losing confidence for playing 30 minutes a game, then we got the wrong guy. 30 minutes a game, and you lost your confidence. I don't.
But yeah, if you started at 30 minutes a game, but you're taking him from one part, so you're giving him superstar minutes, and you're obviously cutting him down. He's not like an idiot.
Nah.
He knows this because he's not playing well. You're reducing his minutes. It cuts your confidence.
You're not
reducing his minutes because you just want him, to rest and take it easy. You're reducing his minutes because he's not playing well. Like, he's not dumb. Like, he knows.
From the most minutes in the league to a regular all-star-ish rotation player is not going to hurt his confidence. Knox is out here playing 15 to 20 minutes a game. He will be fine.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see, man.
You want to take that gamble? Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You take that gamble. Let me know how it works.
Let's go to JJ from Inglewood. JJ, how you feeling, man?
What's going on, TCP? What's going on, Asher? What's going on, Jay Ellis? Man, a couple points, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Randall, man, this is like, in college, man, you find that person who took the class the year before and you just take the test, man. I'm a Laker fan. We took this test before. This is the most you're getting out of Randall. So right now you just got to look to piece him up with somebody on the team, man, to get something out of him. But this is the most you're going to get out of him. And I knew he was over. I knew Randall's not career over, but I knew he wasn't that guy. Was when he was in a fast break at practice, Laker practice, fast break, right side of the rim, and laid it up with the left hand. He still doesn't have a right hand, man. So that's the most you're going to get with Randall. Second thing, man, this is a crucial time for y'all, man. A couple of losing skids you guys are on, man, it's going to show a lot about the team, man, and how you guys pull out of this thing. So I think there's some good and some bad in this. And the good things, you guys are going to be able to see what kind of heart this team got. Lastly, we got to get Peyton off the floor, man.
Got to get
him out of here.
Got to get him up out of here.
Y'all doing a good job, man. Love the show as always.
Appreciate you, bro.
Man, take care.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. Ash, just like you were saying, man, the Laker fan knows Randall best, right? So.
Laker fans love reminding me every time Julius Randle plays outstanding. We had him first. Yep. Who gave him to you? He was ours. Well, he ain't yours no more, so move on.
Welcome to our world.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm living and dying with it this year, man, because it's just like you see how important he is to any type of success this team might have. At that, even though he was kind of regressed tonight and didn't really have it. Only 9 shots, man. Only 9 shots, but as you said, it seemed like PJ Washington kind of took him out of his game early, JLs, and then it kind of just snowballed from there.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. First kind of bad game I've really seen from him, I would say.
Yeah, we'll give him a mulligan tonight.
Yeah. Despite the offensive foul game.
Yeah. Or was it no, the first of the 3 losses? The first of the 3 losses. Who did we just lose to? I gotta go back.
Was it the Thunder?
Yes.
The Thunder.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Thunder, baby.
Yeah, I thought that Thunder game. I thought that was the first game. I thought he really looked spent. Like he really didn't have much legs and was kind of dragging his way through. But this game was kind of similar. He just didn't have it tonight.
Yeah, man. Tibbs got to watch those minutes, man. Back to back, blowing out by 20 points. Could be another reason why Randall was looking kind of weird today, man.
Yeah. Let's get my guy Kev in the lineup, man. Get Kev in the lineup. Kev is ready. Kev is ready to roll. He was looking good, man. All right, speaking of Kentucky, let's go down to Kentucky. Aaron, what's going on?
What's going on, y'all? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, bro. How you doing, bro?
Okay. How y'all doing? CP, Jay Ellis, Ashley. I just want to talk about tonight's game, and it's depressing. I thought for sure after the 2 losses, man, we would come out with a little bit more fire and play a lot better. And I'm the biggest RJ fan. I'm a Duke fan as well as a Knicks fan. So, I rep RJ probably the hardest. But I think it's time for us maybe to ease up on his minutes for a little bit, man, and maybe do something different, because we just don't have enough shooting out there right now for him to really get to the basket. The when they go to those zones, the lanes clogged up. It's like it's really stressful just for him to get to the basket. and he's not pulling up for mid range. He did a couple times last night, but he's not pulling up for mid range. I know he does, a lot of other things well, but this team, I just don't know if they all fit together. And another thing I want to bring up is, I'm not trying to blame Randall for anything like that, but if the trade's right, a first round pick or a point guard is scoring. First of all, I think we need to go after a team that has multiple point guards. Preferably the team we played tonight. They got 3 point guards in Rozier, Graham. And Ball. And Ball's obviously the future. Graham, I think, is still young, even though I think he was a 4-year player at Kansas. But I would see maybe using the first round pick that we got from Dallas, maybe a second pick, to maybe get him. We need a score at point guard. We can't just keep Quickly's not ready yet, and he's not really the pure point guard anyways. He's more of a combo guard. Even at Kentucky, he didn't really run the show for Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, but I just want to know what y'all's thoughts are on that, about getting maybe another point guard this year instead of waiting for the draft, or if we should wait for the draft. Just give me your thoughts on that.
Yep. Appreciate the call, man. JLs, what are you thinking, bro?
No problem.
Oh, man, this is a tough one. I mean, for me, I'm going with Quickly, and I would say I'm not sure if I would give up anything significant at this point unless it's something that we can really bank on. I know I want Elfrid Payton out of here. I know we can't trade him because he has no trade clause and he has to approve that trade. So for me, it makes it even harder to kind of make a move this year for a point guard that we want long term. But if we do make a move, I agree. Shout out to Fritz. He kind of wrote about looking at some of these point guards here. It'll probably be somebody on the low though. Probably be somebody like Graham who's struggling. Might be.
Graham has been struggling. Rozier's been hot though, bro.
Yeah,
Rozier has been lighting it up. And I read a stat earlier today that said that I think for the month of January he hasn't shot less than 40% from 3 on 7 attempts.
Yeah, but it's like, what would it take to get Rozier? That asking price might be.
We got to call MJ, man.
Yeah,
we got to call MJ. MJ could be had, man. He gave Hayward that bag. I'm telling you, you catch MJ at the card table on a good night. You can strike a deal.
CP, you forgetting one thing.
Yeah.
MJ
hates
the
Knicks.
MJ hates us, man. It's going back to the 90s. That guy hates us. The only reason why he played so much money for Gordon Hayward at the last minute because he knew the Knicks wanted him. Yeah, MJ hates us, man. He's not going to give us a real deal for that guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This was, first of all, can I say how much I love that caller? I love his accent.
He was good, man.
Being a Duke fan in Kentucky, that is very brave.
Yeah.
That is very brave.
To that guy. It's 5 stars going across in the chat. But go ahead, Ash.
They don't play about that Kentucky basketball down there. Yeah. But this was one of the reasons why I was excited to hear that during the offseason, the Knicks were really interested in Van Fleet. And he was actually, I know this because I reported on it, he was actually scheduled to meet. The Knicks were one of the teams that he was scheduled to meet with during the offseason. But Toronto was the first team that he met with. And immediately they got that deal locked and loaded. So there was never even an opportunity for the Knicks to even have a conversation with him. I believe it was happening in Chicago where he was meeting with a bunch of teams. So the Knicks literally missed that by not having the right placement in the number of meetings that Van Fleet was going to take. So I definitely wanted him on our squad. I think we needed another point guard, especially a veteran point guard. I thought that was going to be super helpful, especially going into the season, what we were trying to do. And it also made it easier because he's already won a ring. So it's not like he was looking to win another championship per se. He just wanted to get paid. I thought the Knicks were in the position to do that. Obviously didn't happen, but 100% we need another point guard ASAP.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. Obviously, the draft is going to be important with that regard. But, at the trade deadline, make a call for Rozier, JL. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. He's got about 2 years left on that deal. Not crazy. It can't hurt, man. Make a call to MJ.
Who you moving?
Oof.
Yeah, nasty, man. Because last year we had remember last year we had that deal on the table.
Yeah, they did have that. They did have that deal on the table for him. What was it? Him, Randall, and DSJ. For
him, Randall
DSJ for Scary Terry. And it's
Scary
Scary
Terry.
Terry. Scary Terry,
Yeah.
what they call him. Yeah.
That's what they had. Isn't that in Rick and Morty? Scary Terry? That's a character in Rick
I
and
think
Morty,
so.
in case you guys didn't know that.
I think so.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, yeah, they definitely need a point guard. But salute to that guy from Kentucky, man. That was a good call. And I just think overall, the fan reactions, the passion of the fans, it's expectations, Jails. The expectations after you win, after you go out to a 5-3 start, expectations are through the roof. You got to lower the expectations. Lower the expectations, man.
Well, it's back, so we can sneak some wins in now that the expectations are lower.
You hope. But then you don't get it, and everybody's looking to trade this guy, that guy, and the other. So it's tough, man. But like the guy Dan from Long Island said, it's all about who's with us, all 72. We had a lot of all 72s going through the chat after we called them out, JL. So that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why we were taking so long to go after Buddy Hield. He wants to play in New York. I know that for a fact.
It looks like Buddy started struggling a little bit himself too. It looks like Buddy started coming back to
out
earth.
of Sacramento. He's trying to sabotage himself. He's trying to get up out of Sacramento.
Yeah, JL, so you're not with the Buddy moves.
I'm not.
Somebody in the chat just said we should have got Buddy Hield, but go ahead, JL.
I'm not all the way out on Buddy. I'm not all the way out on Buddy at all. I know how it is with players who don't like where they're playing and all of a sudden they start sucking. So I know that can change. And I haven't really seen his numbers and what he's been doing yet this season. But I still know that if he was here, he would be one of the best 3-point shooters on his team. So I'm not out on Buddy as of yet.
Yeah. You know what? The one area that the Knicks have been okay in is dealing with COVID, though, man. As we wrap the show up, we got 2 games canceled this week. You got New Orleans and Dallas. You got Boston and Chicago. COVID numbers piling up league-wide. They're going to have a meeting tomorrow about potentially suspending the season for some, portion of it to see if things kind of die down. So I don't know, man. Ash, what do you think about that?
Well, it's definitely crazy. I spoke to some players today on various teams, most of them in Miami, and it's just the inconsistencies in the COVID protocol within the league are super frustrating to guys. It also, from what I've been told by a bunch of them, it makes it very hard to get into any kind of rhythm for the season. As you can imagine, it was a very quick turnaround. Guys had maybe 5 weeks off, especially the Heat and the Lakers, who went the furthest in the bubble. So it's the unconditional, or rather the untraditional off-season, lack of training camp, lack of being able to work with their teammates as they normally do. And then on top of that, only 2-3 preseason games tops. It's just made it very, very difficult. But in terms of the inconsistency in COVID, I mean, you look at some of the games that were postponed because they haven't been officially canceled. Right now, they're just postponed. Mm-hmm. Like the Boston Celtics game, there were not enough players to play the game. But then you look at the 76ers, and they were actually forced to play the game with the same amount of players that Boston was able to postpone their game for. So a lot of guys feel like there's different rules for different teams. There's not some sort of protocol that is general across the board. But the NBA is having a meeting tomorrow to kind of figure out how they can tighten these restrictions for guys, what they can do to make this a little bit more fair across the board, because guys are not happy. They feel like it's messing with their season. It's messing with the rhythm. And from the guys that I spoke to, they actually said that if it came down to it, if it were necessary, they would actually not be opposed to going back into the bubble for the playoffs. So that was something that was really interesting, because I think a lot of us assumed they hated being there. Yeah. A lot of guys did not mind it.
G League is going into the bubble. I think the original contention was that if they did all 72 in the bubble, then that's kind of OD. But yeah, maybe playoffs you might have to, just to keep this thing going. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast, JLs. You know, they wanted that pre-Christmas start, make sure that they get all the revenue in there. There's a lot of revenue at stake. And obviously with the way, you know, this virus is going on and them not playing in a bubble, you're gonna have this. You know, players are gonna be susceptible to it. You can't keep everybody on lockdown, and you don't know where everybody's going and how they're, you know, transmitting the virus. So tricky situation for sure. Jamal Crawford went on Twitter, and I agree with him. They need to just expand the rosters, bro. Yeah. Expand it to a roster, a player pool of, you know, unsigned free agents and G League players, and just let the teams pick from there.
I think so. I think it's an excellent idea. Expand the rosters for sure. I think it's probably a combination of both, man.
Yeah.
Expand the rosters, tighten up the rules so it's kind of universal all across the board, so you don't have these different rules, and just tighten up the rules a bit about going out, conversing with players, and things of that nature. You have to kind of make it as similar to the bubble as possible with the freedom that we have right now. I know it's kind of hard to do, but it just seems like it's the only way to kind of save the season if we can. Or just put it on the same track, you know?
And I mean, the guys do wear sensors around their necks or things like that, like to go ahead. And what that is supposed to do is supposed to ring some sort of alarm when you get into contact within 6 feet of someone who's also wearing a sensor. So what that does is, hypothetically, it's supposed to make COVID tracing easier. So if one player, ends up testing positive, then you can see who was in contact with that player, trace COVID that way. But also, these guys are taking multiple tests. They take a rapid test, and then they go ahead and take the more in-depth test. And you do end up getting false positives. You do end up getting false negatives. So it's all over the place. And one of the things the NBA said that they're going to try to, implement into the rest of the season is the lack of contact that guys have with each other after the game. So no more, dapping each other up, things like that. But guys feel like, what does that matter?
Right. They already went at it for 48 minutes. Game. That's why I don't understand that. And then them having masks on the sideline, but then jumping in the game. I don't know. It's all over the place. But I guess they're trying to do, the best that they can, man. So.
Yeah. For me, that stuff is optics more than actual healthy.
Yeah.
It's like, we're showing that we're responsible so the world can follow us in their footsteps of being responsible as well. I feel like it's more optics than actual, protecting the players at this point.
Yeah. It's the same thing that a lot of people felt was hypocritical, was one of the words that they used when it was in the bubble and they were wearing masks. They were like, we're already here. We're quarantined with each other. What is the purpose of us wearing these masks? Obviously, it's good optics. It spreads awareness about wearing your mask and being socially responsible. But guys are frustrated, and you can understand that. They rushed to finish that season in the bubble. Then they went ahead and had the issue of a short turnaround. Now they're in this mess, and we were warned ahead of time. Experts warned us that January, December was going to be the worst months because most places it's winter. So I'm not quite sure what the result, or rather what the smart way to go about this is, because it seems like it's only going to get worse before it gets better. So obviously, guys are not down to go into the bubble for an entire season. The playoffs seems more like a reality, but right now you're not even close to that point. So what do you do for the next 4 or 5 months? You can't keep postponing games. You can't extend the season any more than you already have. Otherwise, you're affecting the following season. And then, of course, the Olympics. Whoever competes in Team USA can't be playing basketball in August. So there's a lot to consider.
Tricky situation, man. JL, somebody in the chat said expand the rosters and bring in Isaiah Thomas. I could have sworn you said bring back Emmanuel Mudiay, J. Ellis. Bring back the tank commander. We need a point guard. Mudiay played with Johnny Bryant in Utah. Bring back the tank commander, and he's going to bring the Knicks back to the playoffs. That would be the greatest story in sports.
Get that kid right, Tom.
Get that kid right, kid. Yeah, you got Mudiay out there. Isaiah Thomas, could be a look if they expand the rosters. Maybe Tyson if you want a little more rim protection.
I'll bring him back. I'll look at ISO too, man.
ISO just got picked up by the Timberwolves G League squad.
Oh,
ISO
he did?
got drafted.
Okay.
ISO got drafted.
I'm also available if anyone needs me.
Ash, you gonna suit up? Throw some Jordans on?
I'll suit up.
I'm also available.
I'm 1 for 3 on free throws at Madison Square Garden, man. So if they need me, JLS, I'm ready. Tibbs, holla at your boy, man. I'm definitely ready. Yeah, how about Beasley? We could bring Beasley back.
I'm definitely bringing back Melo from
the walking bucket. We need buckets in the worst way. Who better than Michael Beasley, JLS?
I'm bringing back Beasley.
Bring him back.
Let's go. I'm bringing back Beasley.
What about Marbury? Should we bring back Marbury and Sprewell for the fun of it?
No, Steph ain't coming back. You know that Magic Johnson meme? Steph ain't coming back here.
Where's Jeremy Lin? Bring back Lin Sanity. Bring back it all. Bring it all back.
Lin is with Golden State, right?
Yeah, he's with Golden State.
Is he? I thought he was in China.
No, he can't. He's with Golden State's G League team.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they actually let him come back. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Linsanity's home, man. Linsanity's home. So, yeah, man. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
bring
people.
that.
Great show as
Allen
usual.
Houston's jump is still wet, man. Don't sleep on Allen Houston's jump.
Yeah, H2O.
Hey,
H2O could definitely
Can I
shoot.
tell you, when I was younger, I thought Alan Houston and I were going to grow up to get married. I really did. I was supposed to be Mrs. Houston. That was like implemented in my mind. And then when I found out he was already married, I moved on to Allen Iverson, and then he got married. And, and it was Carmelo.
All the Allens ain't hitting.
All the
man.
Allens.
All the Allens ain't hitting.
It went
man.
Allen Houston,
Yeah.
Allen Iverson, Carmelo Anthony.
Ray Allen.
Well, Kadeem Allen might be available. You can holler at him, man. I got his IG.
Oh, Kadeem
man.
Allen just got.
You
Yeah,
can bring
you're
Kadeem
right.
Allen back in here. too.
Yeah, overseas.
Yeah, Kadeem Allen, man. Bring him in here. So, great show. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Let me salute some super chats real quick. Gotta be legend checking in from Costa Rica. He says Tibbs needs to put a leash on RJ. 18 field goal attempts. Are you kidding me? He goes, yo, I'm a Nick. Shoots 5 for 18. So yeah, he's sour on RJ, man. He says, yep, you are, buddy. Disgusted right now. Big Surge says every time RJ shoots a 3 somewhere in Central Park, a squirrel dies. Save the squirrels. Shout out to Surge.
That's funny all day.
Mr. Architect says Tibbs need to make the entire team do mid-range drills, lay off the threes, feast on twos. We got to go old school b-ball, bully ball. Tiger Style says, what did Ashley do? It was Senor Spin Cycle and his dopey diary entry.
Thank you.
So he said Randall put a he said it's Randall. It's all Randall. You simps. Alan Berman says, salute. RJ shouldn't share the floor with Peyton and Randall. Tonight was bad, but a lot of our problems come from the spacing. Take a fly on Isaiah Thomas, Kyle Korver, and send Elf to Siberia. No doubt. Rare Edition says, we need Mitch to shoot a couple threes a game. Won't hurt his field goal percentage. I won't, my thoughts on Mitch, I don't really see why we need that, but he says better than RJ Bricken or Peyton dancing at the rim. Chuck D, the rhyme animal, Chuck DJL sends us a $20 super chat. He says, trust the system. But Tibbs wants them in better shape regardless, and hitting those shots helps. Knox looked great, Noel energized. We got to see a lot of teams in front of us go down with injuries and COVID. We're going to see a lot of teams in front of us go down with injuries and COVID, so could balance out. Jessica Fox from Vermont. Remember, she sent us a super chat yesterday. She says, still here, love you all, go Ash. Ash, is that your relative? You and Jessica Fox is related.
Right.
Some conspiracies going on.
Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies, though.
Yeah, Jessica Fox in here 2 nights in a row, no doubt. Salute to Ignacio Lobregat checking in from the Philippines. Salute to everybody in the Philippines, Asia Pacific holding us down. He said, Ari said it's a process. Win or lose, New York forever. Salute to Knicks Nation. We made it through. Marty Collins, we can make it through this. Yeah, he's a good guy, JLs. He's 100% on point.
Bring back Marty Collins.
He's 100%. Hey, we need a point guard. Marty, where you at? I'll let you boys.
I'm with it.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that Ari film is on this KnicksFanTV channel. Check out Ari shooting at Clyde's Wine and Dine. 3 or 4 drinks in. Might have been 5 or 6 JLs, but he was in his bag. And check out Ari on the court. It's not a pretty sight. Go to above the rim says RJ at the 1, quickly at the 2, Knox at the 3, Randall at the 4, Mitch at the 5. Simple fix. Burke's back in the lineup for IQ. No more Peyton. That's what I'm saying, man. We got to move on from Peyton, man. Got to move on from Peyton. My guy Matthew Swanson, a.k.a. O-Dog, throws a $50 super chat in the mix. O-Dog, appreciate you, my guy. Then he sends me a text and he says, tell Benji that Method Man's 2 albums are crack. Stop hating on Method Man. Yeah, Benji, man, the chat was coming at you with that smoke, man. They didn't like that Method Man comment.
In New York, that's great.
Yeah, you gotta tighten up. But hey, to each his own. To each his own, man. All right, Jay, let's go ahead and sign out, bro.
All right, man. Definitely check out Nick of Time Show on youtube.com/Nick of Time Show. If you hear me talk about Mood Day on the last episode, all right? And definitely gotta check out the blog on nickoftimeshow.com. Follow us on all social media. That is DKOT Show on Twitter, the Nick of Time Show on Instagram, also on Facebook. Also check out the merch, Knox merch, Whose Mans Is This merch, and more. That is all. That's you, sir.
Yes, sir. We're gonna throw it to Ashley with the dime. Ash, go ahead and sign out.
What's up, everybody? You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley Nicole Moss. My YouTube channel, All In with Ashley Nicole. Knicks, give me a win on Wednesday. It's my birthday.
Birthday
so please
coming
be nice
up.
to me. And shout out to the kid from Coney Island. Long live Stephon Marbury one time.
No doubt, no doubt. Great job as usual. And salute to everybody in the chat, man. We broke over 1,000 still, so all 72 is in here loud and strong. Tough night for the Knicks, man. Couldn't crack 90 points once again. Go down in the QC, 109-88. But we got the Battle of New York, Act 1, Wednesday night, JLS. We can't hang our heads too low.
Man, we can't.
We're going up against KD. We don't know where Kyrie's at. Where in the world is Kyrie? No one knows. I have a feeling he's going to show up for this game, JLS.
He took another personal day
He
today.
took another personal day. So,
Mental health day.
remember, this show's available in audio podcast format, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Alexa, Stitcher, all major podcast platforms. We are there. So if you don't catch it in video, you can always catch it in audio. Keep the conversation going. You could always hit us up on Twitter. We have a Discord chat going on, TM. If you throw the Discord link in the chat, let the people know that they can connect with us. Always keep the conversation rolling. You can follow us on Instagram as well. And yeah, man, everybody throw a happy birthday, Ashley, in the chat. Throw all 72 in the chat if you here. And we'll see you guys Knicks versus Nets Wednesday night. Let's bounce back. Let's get a W, man. Can't have these Nets talking all this trash, Jails. You know what I'm saying? That's the last thing we need this week. Bounce back against the Nets, and all is forgotten. Let's go, man. RJ, we still